Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys some photos that I took in my film camera on my trip to Australia. So I guess to start off this video, this was the camera that I took to Australia. This is the Kodak M38 and this is in the lilac color. If you guys haven't seen my unboxing of this, you can check out this video here, and in that video I unboxed my camera and I loaded it with the film. So this is just a point and shoot camera. There isn't really anything too exciting about this, but since this is my first time using a film camera, I also didn't want to invest in anything too expensive. So I ended up using 3 rolls while I was there, and let's just say overall I was lucky that there were some salvageable photos. So this was the rolls that I used. This is the Kodak ColourPlus 200, and without further ado, let's just jump straight into seeing the actual pictures. Cue the montage. There were quite a few good pictures, and I was actually pretty surprised by how well they turned out. Altogether, so I used 3 rolls, so that would be 108 photos. Out of that, they returned us 98 photos, so I think that's a pretty good win, you know. A good percentage of photos were actually salvageable, because they did say if it was overexposed or whatever, they wouldn't be able to develop it. But apart from that, there were quite a few photos that weren't quite up to standard. So let's now cue to the montage of the bad photos. So from using this camera for a week or so, there are some things that I learned. And firstly, this camera performs the best in natural lighting. When there's bright light, sunlight, or be it any sort of artificial lighting, that's when it performs the best. And this is especially obvious when you look at those landscape kind of photos. They really look so beautiful. I think it could have been taken from like my iPhone or even my Canon, all things considered, and they turned out gorgeous. And the animals too, like the cows, the emus, the kangaroos, because they were like in this open area like a farm and the sun was shining directly at us, the photos turned out to be gorgeous. But this is when the bad part of the photos come in. Quite a lot of photos that I took was also not in a bright setting. So this was when we went to Sherbrooke's forest, and you can see this was how the photos turned out. And for comparison, I will also insert the pictures from my Canon and my iPhone so you guys see how it's supposed to actually be like. So yeah, the lighting there was quite bad, and fault on my part, I did not use the flash because I thought it was good enough, but it wasn't. So yeah, you can see the clear difference from the film camera, my iPhone, and the Canon G7X. So yeah, quite the difference. Okay, so even though I'm just a beginner myself, these are some tips or things that I've learned from my mistakes and just, you know, my overall film experience. So first things first, you have to prepare yourself for bad photos, especially if you're a beginner. I think it's very hard to put up the expectation that if you're shooting 36 photos, you will get perfect 36 pictures back. I think you will make some mistakes. Practice makes perfect. And one of the most important things when it comes to film photography is the lighting. For outdoor shooting, nature, scenery, I think it's quite easy. All you have to do is literally point and shoot and it will more or less turn out fine. But for indoor photography or even outdoor where the sun is starting to set, the pictures won't be as good. The graininess of the photo really comes through, and you can see some examples here of when I did outdoor photography under poor conditions, lighting conditions, as well as indoor photography, and all of that turned out to be really quite bad, and it's not even salvageable at all. And one more advice is that frame the picture nicely, because I don't know if it's just the viewfinder that is a bit like wonky or something, but sometimes I don't mean for like the railings or the barricade to come in the picture, but it ends up being inside and it's not really what I intended, even though like in the viewfinder, you know, it's not there. I guess this comes with practice. Now that I made that mistake, I know that maybe I should go in a bit closer next time to avoid the barricades and railings that I don't want in my picture. So yeah, make sure you frame your camera properly to make sure that what you intend is what is captured. But at the end of the day, if you're just a beginner and you know this is a fun hobby that you picked up, I guess don't beat yourself too much about it. When I was on my trip to Australia, I prepared for the worst. Whatever pictures that I took on the film camera, I took one backup on my camera as well as my iPhone, because I just had a feeling that I didn't take any proper pictures. But thankfully there were a few good nice ones, so I've already met my expectations. So that's it from me for this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and see you guys in my next video. Bye!